My project is on hip hop and mental health. The media does not know how to properly talk about mental illnesses, specifically bipolar disorder. The music industry likes to tear down a rapper named Kanye West. The public needs to feel more empathy and compassion towards Kanye while talking about his bipolar disorder. Kanye is a Grammy Award-winning American rapper, producer, singer, author, and fashion designer. He started out as a producer making beats for Jay-Z and Twista as well as other artists. And Kanye is known for being a very controversial rap artist in the hip-hop industry. He was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2016 after being hospitalized for sleep deprivation. Bipolar disorder is a brain disorder that causes a change in a person's ability to function. They have intense manic highs and really depressive lows.
Pregnant and for 1 month and 2 pregnant and for 1 month and 2 months and 3 months. We talked about her not having this child. She had the pills in her hand. Do people know these pills where you take the pills and if you take it, it's a wrap. The baby's gone. So I was sitting up in Paris and I had my leather pants on. You already know if you got leather pants on, you already know who this person must think they are. Right? And I'm in the apartment where my wife was actually robbed. And I have my laptop up and I got all of my creative ideas. I got my shoes, I got my sound cover, I got communities, I got clothes, I got all this. And the screen went black and white. And God said, if you fuck with my vision, I'm going to fuck with yours. And I called my wife. And she said, we're going to have this baby. My mom saved my life. My dad wanted to abort me. My mom saved my life. There would have been no Kanye West because my dad was too busy. Hey. Abortion should be legal, but the option of maximum increase should be available. Maximum increase would be everybody that
That is just one of many examples of Kanye having a manic episode, as well as many deleted tweets. While it's not my place to talk about Kanye's treatment with his mental health because I personally do not have bipolar disorder, but I wanted to bring up how people speak about serious mental health problems because there is still a serious lack of empathy and compassion towards people with bipolar disorder. With the memes and running jokes to the very bad opinions on social media since we're seeing his manic episodes in real time, the quote, "It's okay to not be okay," stops when talking about Kanye because his symptoms are considered not normal for society. And he doesn't fall under the spectrum of anxiety or depression-like symptoms. Since his diagnosis in 2016, Kanye has always been open to speaking about his disorder, calling it his own superpower. He raps on his song Yikes, "That's my bipolar, that's my superpower, ain't no disability, I'm a superhero, I'm a superhero." On the same album, his album cover says, "I hate being bipolar, it's awesome." People often think that with Kanye being open about his disorder is glamorizing it or calling it a marketing ploy, which is not the case at all. In fact, Kanye having bipolar disorder breaks the stigma of the disorder, and it allows others with bipolar disorder to see a celebrity in the spotlight showing similar symptoms of the disorder. The reason why we should feel empathy for Kanye is because the public needs to look at his disorder from his point of view. People speak about him in very unkind ways that lack empathy because they disagree with what he is saying while he is having a manic episode. While we do not agree with his actions, we need to see that his actions are increased by his disorder. The media's view on Kanye and his behavior sets a dangerous example that celebrities are entertainment before actual human beings. and that their mental health issues is only for the public to laugh at on social media. Kanye is not guilt-free in many of his actions, but he deserves the human dignity of not being laughed at. It's already a challenge to manage your mental illness symptoms, but doing it in the public eye is so much worse. How is the hip-hop genre affected by mental illness? Many rappers are very open to talking about their own mental illnesses, like depression and anxiety, in their own music. For example, Kid Cudi and Kendrick Lamar. Kimberly Harper, an assistant professor at North Carolina A&T State University, states that the hypersexuality, violence, and braggadocio that is so hotly contested in hip-hop is also part of the larger American culture. However, the difference between hip-hop and other genres is that hip-hop is inexplicably linked to the Black experience. While the hip-hop community is very accepting of mental illnesses like depression and anxiety, there is still a strong stigma for bipolar disorder, especially coming from a Black man like Kanye. Negative attitudes and beliefs toward people who live with mental health conditions is pervasive within the U.S. and can be particularly strong within the Black community. One study showed that 63% of Black people believe that a mental health condition is a sign of personal weakness. As a result, people may experience shame about having a mental illness and worry that they may be discriminated against due to their condition. Additionally, many people choose to seek support from their faith community rather than seeking a medical diagnosis. Like Kanye, whenever he did the Sunday services, he released an album called Jesus is King, which is a Christian gospel rap album. And knowing that men are usually stereotyped to not show emotions because of their gender, since it is a sign of weakness, but it is normal to show signs of vulnerability, it is a part of being human. Looking at Kanye from an outside perspective, he would greatly benefit from any amount of support from the media and his family instead of making horrible jokes about the disorder. To fix the big problem, which is ignoring Kanye's disorder, the public needs to educate themselves on bipolar disorder, even the basics of it, so they do not have to make people feel ashamed that they have to live with the disorder. In conclusion, giving Kanye empathy for his bipolar disorder is what he deserves, while knowing that his actions are increased by his bipolar. It is a basic understanding not to make jokes about mental illnesses, but people are still insensitive with those who have a mental illness. As Kanye once tweeted, and it may be out of context, "I don't blame people for not knowing how to handle this. That said, we as a society will learn together."